Imagine a mother's fingers, numb from hunger, scraping together the last grains of flour while her little boy's ribs show through his skin like shadows under cloth. She's counting breaths, his and her own, knowing the next sunrise might find them both dead. Then a stranger appears at the gate and asks for the food that stands between her child and the grave. Everyone calls her faith heroic. But what if it wasn't? What if every step she took toward obedience felt like betrayal, every heartbeat screaming that she was handing death the knife herself? That's the buried fracture in the Widow of Zarephath story. You think you know it? Miracle meal, dead son raised, perfect trust. But stay here. This version bleeds. Her hand shook. Her voice cracked with rage. She came within inches of cursing the man who promised life. How close did she really come to letting go? And what did it cost her to hold on? The truth is uglier, more alive, and far more like the fear that wakes you at 3 a.m. The drought has turned Zarephath into a furnace of dust and silence. She walks the cracked path outside the town gate, gathering sticks with mechanical slowness, each twig a countdown. Her son trails behind, too weak to run ahead anymore, his small hand clutching the hem of her robe like it's the only solid thing left in the world. Inside her chest, panic flutters wild, hot, suffocating. One meal, one. After that, the long sleep. She's already picturing his body growing cold in her arms, already tasting the guilt of surviving him even a single day. A shadow falls across the path. The stranger, Elijah, stands there, sun-bleached and travel-worn. His voice is calm, almost gentle. "Bring me a little water." She turns without thinking. Water she can spare. But then he adds quieter, deadlier, "and a piece of bread." The world narrows to a single point of pain behind her eyes. Bread. He might as well have asked for her son's heart on a platter. Her throat closes. She hears herself answering, words scraping out like broken glass. "As surely as your God lives, I have nothing. No bread, only a handful of flour in a jar and a little oil in a jug. I'm gathering these sticks to go home and make a last meal for me and my son so we can eat it and die." Silence stretches, thick as the dust swirling around her feet. She waits for him to walk away, to leave them to their ending. Instead, he says, "Don't be afraid. Go home and do as you planned. But first, make a small loaf for me." Fear slams into fury. Her pulse hammers in her ears. Every instinct howls, "Protect your child. Hoard the crumbs. Run." Yet something else, thin, trembling, almost unrecognizable, stirs beneath the terror. A thread of desperate, maybe. She hates it. Hates him for planting it. Hates herself for listening. If the raw edge of that moment is already tightening your chest, drop a comment. Have you ever had to choose between certain safety and impossible hope? Keep watching. Her next move breaks everything open. She walks home like a woman climbing her own gallows. Hands shaking so badly she spills half the flour. Kneads the dough with tears falling into it, salt mixing with oil. Bakes the tiny loaf first for the stranger. Every second feels like treason against her starving boy watching from the corner, eyes too big for his face. When she hands the bread over, her fingers brush Elijah's, and for an instant she wants to snatch it back, to scream, to claw the food from his mouth if she has to. But the jar doesn't empty. Morning after morning she scrapes the bottom, and flour remains. Oil glistens where there should be none. Her son's cheeks fill out just enough to break her heart with fragile hope. Relief comes, but it's poisoned. Every dip into the jar is a fresh gamble. Every night she lies awake, listening for his breathing, terrified the miracle will end and leave them worse off for having tasted life again. Then it shatters anyway. One afternoon, he collapses. No cry, no struggle, just suddenly limp in her arms, skin cooling faster than she can warm it. The scream that rips out of her is animal, ancient. She stumbles outside, clutching his body, finds Elijah, and hurls the child at his feet like an accusation. "What have you got against me, man of God?" Her voice fractures, rage and grief braided so tight she can barely breathe. "Did you come here to call attention to my sin and kill my son?" The words hang in the air, venomous, honest. Sin. She spits it like she believes it, like every buried regret has surfaced at once. Guilt floods her. Maybe she didn't deserve the flour, the oil, the borrowed days. Maybe feeding the stranger cursed them both. Doubt crashes in waves. Was the miracle ever real, or just a longer fall? Elijah doesn't argue. He simply takes the boy from her arms, limp, silent, and carries him upstairs. She follows, legs buckling, watching him stretch over her child's body, breathing desperate pleas into the stillness. Once, twice, 3 times. The room reeks of sweat and terror and something electric. A gasp, small, impossible. The boy's chest rises, color creeps back into his lips. When Elijah places him alive back in her arms, she doesn't fall to her knees in worship. She just stares, trembling, tears cutting tracks through the dust on her face. "Now I know," she whispers, voice raw, "that you are a man of God." But the words taste like ash and relief and lingering accusation all at once. She knows nothing is simple anymore. Faith didn't feel like light. It felt like clinging to a cliff with bleeding fingers while the storm tried to pry her loose. If this unflinching look at fractured hope is hitting hard, smash-like, it pushes these stories to more people who need the real version. In the quiet that follows, one truth surfaces sharp and clear. Real faith isn't the absence of terror. It's the refusal to let go while every part of you screams to fall. When despair has you measuring out your last meal, literal or not, and someone asks you to risk the final scrap anyway, that shaking, furious, doubting yes might be the only thing fierce enough to stare death down. If these unfiltered Bible stories are pulling you in deeper, subscribe. Hit the bell. The next one might wreck you in the best way. Stay with us, and this journey continues.